How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the two trades that I took on QQQ and the one trade that I took on SPY. We're looking at QQQ here. We'll check this out first. A few of the levels I was watching is we had this pre-market high around 428.4. Second day in a row where we open right around the pre-market high and reject. Kind of crazy. Next level we had was 427.4. That was from previous day's price action. We'll take a look at that. Then we had yesterday's low around 425.3, and then we had the high of this candle here around 424.7. We will jump to SPY real quick and just look at some levels we were watching there. And alrighty, on SPY we had that pre-market high around 487.7. We had a level around 486.4 from yesterday, or in that area from yesterday's price action. And then we had yesterday's low, and then this 485.3 that we've been watching. Back to QQQ. Let's take a look at the first trade that I took today. Hop on down. Well, first we'll take a look at the hourly, and we'll look at this level that I charted from yesterday's price action. So this is that 427.5 area. You can see act as resistance, broke through, act as support, broke through. And you can see that level. So that's the type of thing I'm looking for generally. Anyways, to QQQ we go. So QQQ opened the morning pretty weak. We rejected. We started making lower lows. We were holding this level, 427.5, that level from yesterday. We were holding that pretty well throughout the morning. Then we broke on increasing volume. And when we came up and retested this 427.2 area, I got in some puts. So we'll take a look at the 2-minute as well, so we can really look at what I was watching. Once again, we had this area in here that we were holding pretty well. Broke on an increasing volume, came up, retested, and this is where I took some puts. I took 2 puts here, 427 puts. I sold the first once we broke down towards low a day, and I sold the second, not necessarily at the very bottom here, but probably somewhere around 426.7. I got a really good final fill on that. I'm glad I did because we reversed really quickly. The reason I did is because I had no further levels down here to watch. I suppose the previous day's low, maybe I could have taken note of some of this pre-market action. But the contracts moved really well, going from out of the money, these 427 strikes, going out of the money up here into the money with a break like that with some momentum. Premiums were up about a little over 30%. So got a solid reward, risk reward on this trade. Stop was if we continued to break above, probably would have been above this level here. Luckily that trade happened pretty quick and we didn't have to worry about that. That was my first trade of the day, and one of my bigger trades actually. We'll go over to SPY for the second trade of the day. We're flip-flopping back and forth. SPY we'll look at on the 5-minute. Take a look here. So the second trade that I had taken was on SPY, and we had looked stronger than QQQ, right? QQQ was kind of selling off. SPY was holding strong, broke above pre-market high, and created this high a day here. From there, we had a pretty aggressive pullback. And one thing that I was watching is this area in here that we had been bouncing from all morning. We had found support, we hadn't broken it. So I was watching that area, and I also happened to notice that we had a little bit of a trend line going on. So when we came down and we pulled into this area and pushed up and got that 5-minute close above that trend line, on the subsequent candle here, we came down and retested this 47.2, and I got in calls there. I got in a single call. We'll take a look at the 2-minute as well so we can look at what that looked like. Once again, created a daily high, sold off pretty aggressively. You see that huge volume as we come down into this area. You see this massive volume on this pretty bullish candle that we wicked down into here, closed green. And so on this candle here, perhaps it was one of these two. It was once the 5-minute closed. So I suppose it would have been somewhere in here, I entered calls on the retest of this trend line, and I took profit once we were up in this area. Reason being, once again, we'd kind of wicked around in that area, and this was just a quick scalp for me. So that was a pretty small win. I actually got a really bad fill on when I went to take profit. This pushed up and ran about 20-25% from where I entered. But I got a bad fill and I got a pretty small win here. So this is a small trade in all things considered. And then my third and final trade was on QQQ. So we'll go back over to QQQ. We'll take a look here. So my third and final trade was a QQQ call. We were holding this 427.5 or 4.5 level pretty well. And similar trade that I just discussed on SPY, we had a trend line here. We also had an area of demand that we were holding as support pretty strong. Once we came down into this area, I took a call here. It was a 428 call, and I sold once we hit 428. So a single position, quick scalp, worked out pretty well. It was a 50-cent move out of the money to in the money. That was a pretty nice trade. One that was a very quick scalp. As you can see, it happened in the matter of about 2 minutes. We did make a little bit higher from there. You know, had I scaled in, had some other trades or some other contracts on that trade, we did make a daily high there. So there was potential for more money. But that 50-cent move going out of the money to in the money was a pretty nice move. I've been finding that I like QQQ. I've been watching it alongside SPY, and sometimes you get some really nice moves out of QQQ. So that's one I'm watching and learning, and it's been treating me all right. At first it was a little rough, but I think I'm learning the way. That's all I have. That's all I have for you today. Those were the 3 trades I took, all 3 winners. Once I had that initial win, I kind of scaled down for the following 2, and those were more scalps with small size. Yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I do trade live every Monday through Friday, so I'll be here tomorrow closing out the week, hopefully strong. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Peace.